Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, where I'm going to be going back to the Overcoming Sadness Part 15 Level 100 Lost Chapter quest for Rydia's Lost Chapter, and I'm going to be doing a Vayne true solo of this quest. So, I mean, we're at the stage of the game right now where level 100 quests are really not all that challenging. EX quests are just basically an automatic, give me the high score and give me the rewards, without really having to try if you have any recent characters. And among recent characters, Vayne is in a tier completely by himself because his mechanics break the fundamental rules of the game. So I figured that this would be a good enough opportunity just to kind of show off what you can do when using him, to be honest. So just going to quickly take a look at my artifact passives. I am actually going to swap one of these Force of Wills for a console boost because I am going to be using a lot of other skills than just Force of Will. I actually think Mighty Force of Will is a really good passive to have because especially if you have a team with high max brave auras but not necessarily as much attack, like say Freya for example gives like 65% max brave, you're probably not going to be able to cap your brave on like the second hits of it. You know, it does 2 hits and then like another 4 hits. So on that other 4 hits, it really does increase the amount of damage that you do. And especially if you use Force of Will without having a battery first, you know, you do a lot more damage by stacking mighties, because mighties actually increase the potency of a skill by 10% multiplicatively. So although Vayne doesn't have the greatest potencies on his skills, you know, it still kind of pays off. But console boost is just kind of a more all-rounded passive to have, because it just, you know, it generically increases attack and max brave as kind of like a base thing. So yeah, last time I was able to play this with Vayne alone, I really didn't have that many problems with it. In fact, I would argue that the biggest problem is on like the first wave. You need to not get killed, and then as soon as you can manage that, then the rest of the fight is just basically a gimme, to be honest. So I'm going to be bringing Bahamut along for the bonus damage during the summon. It's going to do a lot more damage than something like Shiva would. You do lose out on the speed passive from Shiva, but because Vayne is such a turn-stealing monster, you don't really need it. It's just basically a case of hope you don't get chunked too hard in the first wave, and then the rest of the fight just basically plays itself. Like, allow me to demonstrate. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get up Force of Will, so you get his aura up. Like, that should always be the first move that you do. And there. That HP attack, that's pretty much the sum total of the HP damage that you're going to take in the whole map. So here I'm going to use Mach Wave to get up to 3 stacks of Conqueror's Power, and you get a bunch of free turns. And you can just spam Pummel to save abilities. You don't really need to use that many abilities. So yeah, first thing I am going to take out the Lamia. And then this skeleton over here has an all attack going on, which we don't want to happen. But these skeletons actually collapse when you break them. So actually I can just use Pummel on him to break him, and even though I don't kill, he's just going to fall over. And then yeah, I'm going to use Mach Wave just to get the stacks. And so look, again, I'm in plus mode. Free turns galore. Yeah, and here we have this Lamia is kind of annoying. So here I'm going to use Force of Will on this Lamia to push it back, and then go straight into the EX, which is going to break C and A and then give me more free turns. Unfortunately, I do. Okay, so here we are. So we're in free turns mode. Yeah, Saz has got to go. And so is Penelo. And now we can just use Mach Wave. And then, oh, actually, she's gone back into targeting Vayne. Normally she goes back into revive mode. Can't afford to take any chances, so I'm just going to use Kick. And of course we get the magical allure. Oh, we get strangled. Okay, I don't feel particularly proud about that. That was the Shiva evasion passive coming in clutch there, and deciding that it didn't want to let me die. Okay, so yeah, I don't really feel great about that, but if you play it better, you won't necessarily need to rely on that. I think it's like a 10% chance or something stupid. I'm just going to use Force of Will for the momentum. You see, now it's gone on to C on its move, which means that's like it's going to try and revive, which is kind of, you know, what I expected it would do. Yeah, why not? Let's just go into Tree of Sephiroth. Regen some skills. No, no revives for you. I don't think so. Yeah, let's try not to get broken. And then, yeah. So every 3 stacks of Conqueror's Power, you just get 2 free turns. And Pummel is honestly such a really good sort of HP attack plus. You can just use it indefinitely without really worrying about it too much. So okay, so I'm going to use Macwave here to get 2 stacks, and then I'm going to use Force of Will for the +1 stack. And then we get into plus mode. And yeah, if I attack here, then I'm just gonna get twatted, which I don't want to happen really. So I think I'm just gonna go into summon here, and we're just gonna get a huge turn advantage. Tree of Sephiroth to regenerate the skills. So the plus turns are kind of wasted during the summon, like they don't really accomplish that much, I don't think. But I'm doing this just so we can catch up in terms of damage. And of course I'm going to spam Force of Will during the summon because we need all the damage we can get. And it just buys us more turns as well. And that right there, my friends, is what we call a mistake, because I just blindly clicked on Sephiroth when it was the plus version, which I really shouldn't have done. But because Vayne is so ridiculously overpowered, we'll find out that it really doesn't actually matter. So I'm going to use Macwave here, and then I'm just going to use Pummel, because that will just get us into free turns mode. Every time you get 3 stacks, you just need to don't waste the Sephiroth, don't waste his EX on plus version, because you know there's really not too much point in doing that. It's if you get the regular version of his EX on his last turn, then that's when he kind of goes back into being able to get all those free turns. So here I'll use Macwave 2 stacks, 3 stacks, Pummel. Then I'm going to use a skill so he gets his EX. And bam, 3 turns again. And you can just keep doing that until the boss is dead. It's really no big deal. And boom! There it goes! Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the showcase on why Vayne is the most broken character in the game at the moment. Yeah, 424k. I think I've got higher before. I've had like 444k when I played it a little bit less stupidly. But you know, it's no big deal. As long as you can get through the middle wave and not get chunked by the Lamia that was going to strangle me, which I probably should have died there, to be honest, then yeah, the rest of the boss is actually kind of the easy part, especially when you have summon up, because you just get that much of a turn advantage and you do that much damage. Is just absolutely ridiculous. And because Vayne solo, he manufactures himself 2 free turns every like 1 or 2 turns. He just gets such a huge turn advantage that I mean, that's probably a higher score than some full parties of older characters are able to accomplish, which is just all kinds of broken. So yeah, that's Vayne. And to top it all off, he actually becomes ridiculous again in the EX Plus era when he gets his EX Plus. He doesn't get a rework, but his EX Plus passives, I think he gets like, he regenerates Brave after every time he dumps Brave, he gets a certain amount back. I think it's based on the amount of damage he does, but it really helps kind of increase the damage of Pummel and Force of Will. And he also gets a passive, I think, that increases his critical damage by 50%. So even though his attack is not like the highest, he still does pretty decent damage. And yeah, he still has his turn madness. Like, I want to play a team in JP of like Vayne, Ultimisia, and like Hope or something, or Eiko, or someone that gives the extra free turns, because yeah, that just sounds all kinds of broken, if I'm being perfectly honest. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Until then, I'll see you later.